Welcome back to the Film Feeder podcast. I'm your film chef extraordinaire, Jack Martin. That's right, I'm back, despite the fact that nobody asked. And I'm here today with some amazing guests. I've got with me the filmmakers extraordinaire, Natasha Tosini and Stephen Staley. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hey, thank you for having us.
And
Thanks for
we've
having me.
also got actors Ty White and Jack Hyde. Hi, guys.
Hey guys.
Hello, Happy New Year. And you guys are here today because you guys have just made a film. You've made a film called Viral Haunt, which sounds pretty awesome. I mean, congratulations making the movie. I mean, it's got to be hard work, but someone's got to do it. So,
Someone's got to do it.
congratulations on it.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And so yeah, let's get right into it. So I mean, I haven't seen the film, obviously. It's well into post-production, so I don't think anyone's really had a chance to see it yet. But so tell us all, what is Viral Haunt? What is this film about?
Yeah, so Viral Haunt is about a group of influencers that have rose to fame by going to haunted places and like faking the results for entertainment. Some people genuinely think these haunted things are happening. Some people think it's fake. Some people are all along the ride for entertainment. But the guy that set up the two people that set up the Haunt Hunters, is what they're called in the movie. They clash over one of them just doesn't care, wants to get loads of views. The other person doesn't want to fake the happenings anymore. And at the same time, the audience starts reacting. Some of them starts reacting negatively, saying you're fake, you're this, you're that, and it pushes the leader of the group to take us to somewhere genuinely haunted. And it's there where we get to see how these influencers deal with a genuinely haunted place rather than what they used to. So yeah, we get to see some good character development where these things start going on, and some characters in the movie are saying, "Stop messing around. I know that's you. I know this is one of your tricks. I haven't done it. I haven't done it. Who's done it?" It's that type of thing, and it creates quite an interesting atmosphere on how they deal with these genuinely haunted happenings going on.
Nice. And obviously, this is your first film as directors. You also wrote and produced the film as well,
Yeah.
and both as actors, coming to do this all the stuff behind the scenes. I mean, what was that leap like? Was it quite daunting at first? Because obviously you're used to being in front of the camera, and then being behind it. Was that quite a significant thing to get across?
You know what? It is a little bit different. We kind of lent on our acting ability to kind of just get us through the acting scenes because we didn't really have time. So, for example, sometimes we'd be 2 minutes before doing a scene, and I'd be like, right, okay, guys, so we want you to walk in here and we're going to do this, and then we're going to do that, and then you guys are going to say that. And then I'd walk over to Steve and we'd both go, we don't know our lines for this scene. And we'd have to just, within 5 minutes, smash out the lines and like learn them because we had so many things going on. Everyone came to us if they needed anything, obviously, because we were producing and directing. So it was very difficult. However, it was definitely worth it and it was very fun.
Cool. And Ty and Jack, I mean, what was it like as actors, taking direction from people who also have experience in your field as actors themselves?
Well, I have to say, like, I have worked with like some actors who do direct their own films and everything, and yeah, like it is quite like there's like a lot going on and everything, a lot of like running around that you have to do and everything, like acting and directing. You have to focus like on like one part of your mind is like focused on like the crew, the other part is like focused on the acting and everything. And the fact that Natasha and Steven, they were not only able just to like act and direct, but also like to write and produce like Viral Haunt and everything, like working on those four fronts. It's just absolutely incredible. And it's like they're your first film like directing it, and that's just incredible in itself and everything. Like I mean those guys, like these two, like they made the atmosphere like really enjoyable and everything. And the fact that they were able to work on those forefronts and like sort of like manage that, it's I just have so much respect for them for for just doing that like head on and everything. Just really, really incredible. Huge amount of respect for them for that.
I think because they're actors, they know how to talk to actors and they know how to give direction that it is easy to follow. Sometimes you'll work with directors and they'll give you like a whole dissertation and it's all philosophy, and you're like, but what do I actually do? And I found that their direction was very clear, and but they were also open to input and ideas, and it was a collaborative effort. So yeah, I really had a good experience. I enjoyed it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
No.
Can I just say also? Oh, sorry, was you going to say something as
I was
well?
just to say one thing Ty said then, which I can definitely relate to. As an actor, sometimes you might be waiting 3 or 4 hours for your scene to come around, and it can get a little bit, I wouldn't say boring, but there's a lot of waiting around. So what me and Tash were aware of, we wanted to make sure that the cast um, knew that how important they were, even if they only had maybe 2 or 3 scenes that day.
Yeah.
And sometimes the schedule might move a little bit for whatever reason, and we're always mindful of that to let the actors know if any changes were going to be, coming ahead and stuff like that. So we always wanted to make sure the actors were taken care of on this set.
Yeah. I just wanted to say, I just wanted to add in that with Ty's character, obviously he's a killer. Going into it, that's the only thing I didn't think about. So I had everything in my mind. I was like, okay, this character, this is their, like, this is how they're going to develop, and this character, they're going to develop like this, and this is the blocking for this scene, and this is, and the only thing I didn't think about was what the killer is going to be doing. So then Ty came and I was like, oh shit, I've not thought about that. So I kind of gave him like, well, both of us kind of gave him like creative control over. And I said to him at one point, can you just do something cool? And I thought, oh my God, he really is doing something cool. And I looked at some of the scenes that he did, and oh my God, he absolutely smashed it. Even though we were giving him such little things to go off, like we didn't really think about that beforehand. He really, really smashed it.
I really enjoyed. I felt very free to play, but I also felt like you did give me good guidelines, very much so. Like, yeah, I loved playing the killer so much. Oh.
That was amazing. It sounds like it was a great environment to be a part of, and I think that's a lot of things that people don't really seem to appreciate. It's like yeah, especially in the film criticism world, and I know because I'm one of them. But like, it's always people behind the camera. There's human beings. They really pour their heart and soul into this, and it appears to be the same with not just Spiral Horn, but all the other films he worked on. I mean, just scrolling through like your IMDb pages. I mean, there's a lot of really great sounding titles. I mean, and including Natasha, I think most people will know you for a little independent film called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. And what seems so great about that kind of film is like no matter it doesn't really matter what people have to say about it, in from a critical standpoint, it just looks like it was a blast of film. And
Yeah.
and I've heard nothing but great things about all the people at Jagged Edge Productions, the people who made it, and it just seems like it is all kind of a bit of a nice little family in a way, which sounds a bit cliche to say, but it's a cliche for a reason, because it is you do really build these familial sets on familial yeah. You really develop these familial bonds on set, and it sounds like you did the same thing with Viral Haunt as well.
Yeah. Um, it was 100% the exact same thing. Winnie was my first film, so it was really difficult for me knowing what it was going to be like going into it. But then I had such a great group of people around me. Um, I felt really welcomed. Like that's one of the main things I remember from that. I remember feeling so welcome, and like everyone took me under their wing because it was my first film, and I kind of I had so, even though there was some hard scenes, obviously the death scene was really hard. I had so much fun filming that, and it was the same with this sort of thing. And again, with obviously Winning was like really, really low budget, and then it went completely viral, and then they got more budget to, well, it wasn't like an insane amount, but they got more budget to add some bits in, I guess, because it went viral. But even though they get obviously that film isn't very well acclaimed. A lot of people think it's not a great film, which is fair enough. I liked it, but it's fair enough. Um, with that kind of budget, to say that they made so much, like they made millions and millions and millions of pounds from that film.
Mm.
Um, so for us, if people hated this film, which I don't think they will, because obviously we're really excited about it, we've seen the first edit, but if people hated it and said, "Oh, it's really, really bad," and it was up there against films that were like, I don't even know what films they were, but like, what's that film with the guy? Like, for example, stuff like James Bond, right? This is the only thing I
Mm.
can think about. That is obviously a ridiculously high budget. Everyone knows what that film is, but Winnie the Pooh was up against films like that. So if that happened to our film, but people said it was shit, I'd be more than happy for that to happen.
Well, I'm sure it won't be shit. It sounds like a lot of fun, actually. Like I'm not even just saying that. Like it actually does sound like a blast, and
Yeah.
especially because it really kind of envelops a lot of themes that I think I've been seeing a lot of recently in horror. Just all about that kind of like image, especially with like social media and technology. Like, I mean, you see films like Host or Searching, Unfriended, Spree really kind of utilize like the camera as like not just a character, but just kind of as like a threat as well. Like you see all these you see how integrated social media and technology is in our lives right now, and it really kind of brings about this like warped sense of image as well. I mean, you've seen this as well, not to slightly different extent in films like The Substance, which is all just about like the just the vanity of being making sure your image is as good as possible, and even then, failing to live up to like impossible standards in the industry or any other part of the world. And I think it's fascinating to me that films like this and Viral Haunt as well, like really kind of capture the dangers as well of kind of putting yourself out there. In your case, like it's a bunch of YouTubers with their channel, and it's a very fascinating way of doing that, like showing like there are real dangers out there, and they're not necessarily ghosts or anything. It's just the things that people can say or do online that cause genuine harm or even worse.
Uh, I would like to respond to that because my character, I feel like, embodies that hateful spirit that you'll get from the online community at times. And this film conquers that question of like how far is too far when you're trying to get clicks and views. But then
Mm.
when you see the way that my character actually reacts and actually does kill, like does try and kill people, right? You see that there's no justification for that kind of violence or anything like that. Because I
Yeah.
know for my character, when I was justifying my actions, I was always like, they deserve it, these shallow attention seekers, right? But then when you see what actually happens to them, you're like, no, this is terrible. Like, who would actually want this? So yeah, I think that's
Mm.
what it gives the film some depth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think because like
Sorry.
with the oh sorry, Steve. I
That's okay,
think
you go, man.
for I think like like for like when you mentioned about like social media, sort of like the benefits and sort of like the negatives that come with it and everything. That's kind of like just adding on to what Ty said, sort of like about embodiment, and everything. And I think like that's the case with sort of like my character Richard and Jake, who I have to say was performed excellently, like by Jack Hoy. Like he just like it's really hard to be like someone who's like just so easily dislikable and everything. And I think like it's because like the way I see Richard, he's kind of like sort of like a representation of like everything that's good about social media. Sort of like how it should be done. Should be done for the craft of it, for the fun of it, for the passion of it. Jake is like that at the beginning, but like when Haunt Hunter starts gaining so much momentum, when they start getting bigger and bigger and bigger, Jake kind of like transitions into like sort of like the ugly side. Oh, we have to stage this. We need to like get more, do it for the views, for the fame, for the money and everything. And
Mm.
sort of like so it's kind of like you have like these two guys who build something up which starts off like really passionate, and when Jake starts getting into the views, the staging, etc., and everything, you have like these two opposites of like the representation of social media like clashing with one another and everything, and it just boils into like a full-on explosion and everything. So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in terms of social media as well, I'll just chuck in at the end. When writing it, Tash and I, we wanted to always remind the audience that these people could literally be having a conversation with each other, and then next minute go live on the phone, and we take the audience straight into the social media world. So all of a sudden they're talking to themselves on screen, etc., etc. You can see people interacting with them on the screen, and they flip in between social media and I guess the real world. So yeah, we wanted to immerse the audience into that and keep reminding them that these people are influencers. These people are, well, some of them are obsessed with views and stuff like that.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get like obviously like the Mr. Beasts of the world, or like the James Charles, who are just kind of like doing all these big attention things, and there's no real soul behind it anymore. Maybe there once was, but like you said, like that's all kind of been consumed by like greed and obsession with like views and stuff. Whereas there are so many smaller channels out there, that are just doing it for the thrill of it. And like as someone who's been running a channel for so long, and I haven't really seen any monetary gains from it, that stuff isn't important to me because I love doing what I do. Like, I love like writing about film. I always have done ever since I was young, and that's just, I mean, even talking to you guys right now, I mean, I have you have no idea how thrilling and kind of daunting it is for me right now to even be chatting with you guys. I mean, partly because of my autism, but also, the fact that I just enjoy talking about all aspects of film with people, and I'm really grateful that I've been able to do that with you guys today, and yeah, no, I think film in and of itself is kind of its own community, whether it's the ones you make on set, or like all the groups you kind of gather to like go and watch all these films. I mean, like I did see that first Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey in the cinema at the Prince Charles
Oh.
in London, and it was kind of great because everyone was there for the same reason, and everyone was like really laughing and gasping, and just giving all the proper reactions to it, and it made the film so much better for me, like it was really, just this is what it's all about. And I feel like we really took that for granted before lockdown came and all that kind of got jumbled up. So I'm hopeful now, with the big success of the films like Wicked, people singing in cinemas and everything, and obviously I'm sure they'll do the same when they scream and stuff at viral horns as well. Like it really kind of brings out that nice community, and I really hope people come away with that with this film as well. It's all about, it's never about like the vision of one person or two people in this instance. It's all about all the little efforts, that are made in the way of like the cinematographers, the costume designers, even right down to the people holding the microphone. So it sounds like you guys have really built that, and I can't commend you guys enough for really going through it and just having the time of your lives, it seems.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, no, I would say that we did hire some really good people, didn't we?
Yeah.
We took some time on it, but yeah, I feel like we got the right people in all the positions. So yeah, we're grateful for that.
right. And obviously, are there, I mean, as first-time filmmakers, having gone through this journey, I mean, if anyone is listening who might be wanting to do what you guys do, and make their first film, I mean, what kind of things would you say to that person if they're so listening?
Um, to be honest, I'd say literally just go for it, because me and Steve said for ages, like, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. And then we didn't, until we got to the point where we were like, okay, we have to do this now. Now is the time to do this. There's never going to be a right time to do anything, not even just films, but there's never going to be that right time to get married, or to buy your house, or to have a kid. There's never going to be that time that you're looking for. It isn't going to come. You have to do it now. You have to. Well, don't have a kid now, just because I've said it. But don't move out now. What I'm trying to say is, what? Hang on a minute. What I'm trying to say is, oh God, right. the best time to do something. If you're thinking, I'm ready to do this, but I'm not ready, am I ready to do this? Just do it. Just do it now. You're never going to be ready. So if you want to do it, just do it. Um, with film, the hardest thing for us was to get started, and then from then we kind of just did it. Like it was very, very hard. Obviously, we did so many things at the same time, but we kind of just did it. Like there wasn't a point that I thought we can't do this. And even if there was, time goes on anyway, so you're gonna do it anyway. Just do it. Just get started. Just get your ideas down. Write a synopsis for each of your ideas and then move on from there. Everything you want to do, even though it seems like a big thing to make a film, it's tiny little steps what get you there. So just do the little steps.
Mm. I mean, like as a film producer and screenwriter myself, I can definitely like relate to that. I mean, like the sort of like the process that goes into a film, like the pre-production, production, and post-production and everything. It all takes time. Obviously, like you definitely do want need to have like that mentality where there's like an idea. If there's an idea that comes to mind, like put it down as on as pen and paper, or like hell even on your laptop and everything, just make that idea happen, like make it, like materialize it and everything, and make sure that you have like the cast and crew that are like really professional, like really nice to get along with, and they're there to back you up and like sort of like make your vision happy and everything. And yeah, like the process, it all takes time, like it all takes effort and everything. But I mean, the drafting of the script, the scouting of the locations, and all of that, it does take time and effort, but it's definitely worth it. Sort of like make that time count. Let the people know that not only are you just good as an actor, but also good as a writer, director, and film producer. That you're talented in more than just one area, basically.
That's really nice. I really like that answer, Jack. Thank you for that. And
I've never,
it's I'm sorry, Ty, go on.
I've never made a film before, but I've been involved in a couple projects, and the ones that work versus the ones that don't work as much, a lot of the time the difference is like the team and how
Mm.
much the team is on the same page or not. And I found that on this project, everybody was kind of down for the cause and working towards a common goal and kind and patient and respectful with each other. And yeah, I think that just allowed everything to just get done the way it needed to get done.
Nice. And Stephen, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I will do. I was just going to say, it's a bit touching on what Ty said. We had a great team of people, but also me and Tash planned it very well, which I think enabled it to run as smoothly as it could do. We That's what I would say to anyone who wanted to do this type of thing. If you're going to produce your own movie, first of all, reach out to some executive producers, show them your ideas. Some of them you might write to 50, but only two might write back. But those two are all you need, or one. Obviously, or you could fund your own film, but if you wanted someone else to fund it, you could reach out to people. Um, Planning, I think, is yeah, really important because time is money. So you want to make sure you get all the coverage in the time, and obviously your staff's going to cost money and your location's going to cost money. So you've just got to be ready. And it's not that difficult. It's just planning. It's just putting a bit of time and effort in and you can get there.
Nice, guys. I'm sure the person listening to this is already inspired to just get on with it. So I guess it's a bit early to determine when Viral Haunt is going to be coming out, I guess, because it's still in post-production, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. I think that the film will come out this year. Me and Tash think it'll probably be around late summer. I
Yeah.
Oh,
guess. Obviously, it's not that won't be in our hands. What is in our hands as producers is to finish the project, as you said, it's in post-production to the highest standard we can, and then we'll hand it over to the executive producers who will distribute it around the world, and it'll be up to them when they want to release it, market it, etc. But yeah, if I guessed, it probably late summer, I would have thought.
nice. Well, hopefully, if there is like a big world premiere. I'd love to come along if I can.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
of
Oh,
course.
absolutely. Yeah, come and support you guys. Absolutely. Who knows? Fright Fest. But
That would
That's
be
what we're
good.
hoping.
But that's what
That's
we've
what we're
talked
hoping.
about.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, obviously we'll have to talk about that with the executive producers.
of course.
But that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know obviously Fright Fest is such a huge pillar in the horror community. I mean,
Yeah.
Natasha, you were there last year with your recent film Cinderella's Curse.
Yes,
So
I
obviously
was. It was
massive
great.
launching pad for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Massive. Yeah.
Oh no.
It was really good, yeah. Sorry, I didn't know whether you wanted me to do any explaining there or anything, so I was about to go into a spiel, but
No, no, go for it. I mean, I don't know how much time you guys have got, but I mean, you have the
um,
floor.
I'll just give the basics. Yeah, it was great. It was really fun. It's always good to be like Fright Fest is always fun. I went the year before, to support Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Is it called Dr. Jekyll? I
I think
think
it's just
the
Dr.
actual
Jekyll. Yeah,
name of it, Dr. Jekyll, yeah.
the one with Eddie
With
Izzard, right?
Scott.
The one with
Eddie
Yeah.
Eddie
Izzard,
Izzard,
yeah,
right?
and Scott Chambers, yeah. So I went
Mm.
with Scott, obviously, to support him. Fright Fest is always fun. There's always so many people there who everyone loves horror if they're there. There's always quite a few fans who go there as well. So people will come and ask for like autographs and pictures and stuff. And you get to dress up pretty and go to a red carpet, so it's great.
Hey, not a bad way to do it. And well, let's hope. Well, I'm manifesting it for you guys, really. And no, seriously, once again, congratulations on Viral Haunt. I'm really looking forward to seeing it now. And
Thank you.
so those listening who might be interested in maybe wanting to follow you guys on social media and stuff, where can people find you lot?
Okay. You can follow us on Instagram. It's instagram.com/TAWELTD, which I know is not the best Instagram handle, but we're also launching a website very shortly. By the time this goes out, it'll probably be live, which will be tawentertainment.com.
Nice. And yeah, any other socials you guys want to plug, or do you feel that's it for now?
Have you've got one, haven't you, Ty and Jack, as well, personally?
Yeah, yeah, so like I actually have a Facebook page. It's called at Real Jack Hyde. My Twitter, obviously I'm not gonna use X because I'm quite old fashioned. So I'm still used to Twitter. It's still Twitter to me. It's still Twitter.
I think it's
Um
Twitter for everyone. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so my Twitter is at Jack Hyde Actor and my Instagram is at official Jack Hyde.
Nice.
I'll just give out my Instagram is at TAI_White WHITE_. If you want to contact me, you can just DM me there. Yeah.
And Tasha, any for you?
Yeah, so I'm just the same TAWELTD, and then you can find mine and Steve's personal Instagrams from our company Instagram, and everything's there. So yeah, the best place to find us is probably TAWELTD.
Amazing.
I've got one
Well,
last question, actually. Did you go to Fright Fest in 2022? Or
I can't honestly, I can't remember. So much has happened since then. I can't remember the last time I went. I don't even know if it was before the pandemic or not. But
I wasn't know, it's a while ago. All right, okay.
it must have been. I'm sure I must have gone since then. But I definitely would love to go this year as well. I couldn't this year because I'm poor. But I would definitely like to make the effort this year because I mean there's some good stuff showing every year. I mean like I know that obviously The Substance played there last year and the new Daisy Ridley film Magpie and like it seemed like a good time. I was sad to miss out, but I'll definitely move heaven on earth to be there this year. So, and I hope everyone listening does that as well. Fright Fest, whenever, as and when tickets go on sale for that. But anyway, that's all fantastic, all well and good. But thank you guys so much for listening to me, answering my little questions, and yeah, look, Viral Haunt. I'm looking forward to seeing it as and when it comes out. So until next time, everyone, I'm Jack Martin, your film feeder. There. I'm Jack Martin, your film chef extraordinaire, whetting your appetite for film each and every month. So see you next time.
Bye,
Bye.
guys. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Hey, you've made it to the end of the episode. Thank you so much for sticking around. Please like and subscribe on whichever platform you may be listening on. Make sure that you're following Film Feeder on all our social media channels, the links and handles to which are all listed in the episode description. And do consider supporting Film Feeder either on our Patreon or Ko-fi pages, the links to which are also in the description, where even the smallest donation, either monthly or as a one-off, will be an enormous contribution towards helping a hard-working creative like myself. Finally, don't forget to visit the Film Feeder website at filmfeeder.co.uk, where I post regular written reviews and weekly movie menus that round up all the latest movies coming to cinemas, streaming and on demand here in the UK. Until next time, I'm Jack Martin, your film chef extraordinaire, whetting your appetite for film each and every month. Bye for now.